July 19th, 2026. MetLife Stadium, New Jersey. 82,000 people packed into one place. The biggest football match on earth. 4 billion watching at home. And somewhere in section 114, row 23, one person who doesn't know they're sick. This is not a hypothetical. This is epidemiology. And the numbers are about to get very uncomfortable. Let's start with what we know. The 2026 World Cup final is the single largest gathering of international travelers in human history. 48 countries, 16 cities, 39 days. Millions of people who flew across oceans, shared airports, shared hotels, shared stadium air, and are now sitting within 50 centimeters of complete strangers for 90 minutes.
Our infected fan, let's call him Patient Zero, boarded a flight from abroad 6 days ago. They felt fine. No fever, no cough, just a little tired. The virus had other plans. Here's what happens inside MetLife Stadium the moment Patient Zero sits down. They breathe. That's it. That's all it takes. Respiratory viruses travel in aerosols, particles so small they float, not droplets that fall, aerosols that drift. Studies show a single infected person in an enclosed space can expose everyone within a 6-meter radius within 15 minutes, without doing anything unusual. Just breathing.
Patient Zero cheers when the teams walk out. Cheering is significantly worse than breathing. It expels aerosols at roughly 10 times the normal rate. By the time the national anthems finish, 50 people in the immediate vicinity have been exposed. Kickoff. Minute 15. The virus is already airborne in section 114. Minute 30. A goal. The entire section erupts. 3,000 people screaming simultaneously. Aerosols everywhere. The ventilation system, designed to move air, not filter a novel pathogen, distributes the particles efficiently across a wider area. Halftime. People move. They go to bathrooms. They buy food. They hug strangers. Patient Zero's immediate exposure radius has now walked to 12 different parts of the stadium.
Full time, final whistle. The match is over, and the virus has only just begun. 82,000 people walk out of MetLife Stadium and scatter in every direction. They board trains, buses, taxis, planes. Based on the demographic spread of a World Cup final crowd, conservative estimates suggest at least 40,000 of those fans are international travelers, representing over 60 countries, all of them carrying luggage, boarding passes, and potentially the virus. Day 1, 80,000 people go home. Day 2, incubation. No symptoms, no awareness, normal life.
Day 3, the first cases appear. A family in Sao Paulo, a group of friends in Tokyo, a man in Lagos who sat 3 rows behind Patient Zero and didn't even notice. Day 5, community spread begins in 8 cities simultaneously. Health authorities notice a cluster. They don't yet know what connects them. They're on 3 different continents. Day 7, the WHO receives reports from 22 countries. Scientists identify a common genetic sequence. The trail leads back to one stadium, one match, one night in New Jersey. Day 14, the R number, the average number of people each infected person infects, is calculated at 3.2. For context, seasonal flu sits at 1.3, measles at 15. This virus sits comfortably in between, efficient enough to spread, but slow enough that nobody panics until it's everywhere.
Day 29. 180 countries have confirmed cases. The WHO declares a public health emergency of international concern. Borders begin closing. Flights get canceled. The remaining World Cup matches, still scheduled, become a geopolitical crisis. Does FIFA cancel the tournament? History suggests they won't do it easily. The 1918 Spanish flu killed 50 million people. The 1918 World Series still happened. Here's what makes this scenario genuinely different from every pandemic before it. No previous pathogen in human history has had access to a single event that gathered representatives of 48 nations from 6 continents in one enclosed space for 90 minutes and then sent them all home on the same day.
The Black Death took 4 years to cross Europe. It traveled by ship. This virus traveled by Emirates flight, business class, with a connection through Heathrow. COVID-19 began with one seafood market.
one city, one country that tried to contain it. This begins with the most watched event in human history, broadcast to 4 billion people, attended by the entire planet.
Patient Zero didn't do anything wrong. They bought a ticket, they cheered for their team, they went home. The last thing they remember about that night is the final whistle, and 4 billion people remember it too, just for very different reasons.
That was one infected fan. One match, 4 billion viewers. If questions like this keep you up at night, that's the point. New unreasonable question. Every week, same calm voice, same uncomfortable math. Subscribe.